Show me something.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Show Me Something podcast. As always, I'm Jacob.
I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And today I showed the boys Martin Scorsese's 2002 classic Gangs of New York, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Cameron Diaz, amongst others. Liam Neeson is in it.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly, yeah.
Brendan
Classic.
Gleeson.
A lot of big time, a lot of people in this. It's got a great cast. But before I start talking about how much I like the movie, whose turn is it? Is it Will's turn? I don't even know whose it is. I think it's Will's,
For
right?
what?
No.
I think so, yeah.
For
Or is it
what's
me?
up?
Yeah, for who's...
We're not doing
for-
any housekeeping?
Yeah,
No-
whatever
no nothing?
housekeeping.
No Happy New Year's. No.
Happy
how's
New
everyone
Year's,
doing?
everyone.
It's the new year.
Yeah. Not much is new. We're in 2022 now, so that's pretty cool. Decent holiday season, good family time.
Yeah.
Started playing Escape from Tarkov, so my life is
Disgusting. We've lost
Yeah.
it.
just
We've lost.
plummeted down the drain.
He's been lost to Ked.
Yeah, Ked, rip. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, we haven't heard or seen Will in like what seems like 3 weeks because he's just been playing Tarkov the whole time.
Played games with Jacob like maybe 3 nights ago, so I don't know what he's talking about.
I feel like that's a lie. Every time I go on, I'm seeing...
Also, I tried
Will.
to talk to Trevor, and he was like, "Oh, LOL, JK, I'm going out now." So you're both wrong.
He did have a big date he had to
They're
go to.
gaslighting me.
He had
They're
a
gaslighting
big
me.
Listen, I've been trying to get you to talk about your D&D character for a while.
And I got there, and then you dipped on me. So
That's...
we're even. We're on
We would have
even
been able
even
to if you
Steven
had
Seagal.
already done the homework you promised you were going to do.
Look, man. All right, life is hard right now.
Life's
okay?
hard. Life's tough.
Just let me be. Everything else is good though.
Life's
I was-
hard. Everything's good though.
I'm good. I'm
Sick.
still working, still living the dream, still.
Damn, you don't sound happy though.
I'm very happy.
No,
I'm
he
good.
doesn't at all.
That was really hard to listen to. That
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
was good. You said you went to
holidays-
lunch with your mom today?
I
That's
did.
nice.
I went to lunch with my mom. I had a good day. The holidays were nice. Got to see my family.
Yeah.
They don't live far, so it's not hard to do for me. But
Yeah.
it was nice. Yeah, it was a very nice holiday season.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Cool.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I had a great Christmas. It was a good time. Fun. Good holidays.
Sweet.
That's
Good
pretty
times.
much my housekeeping. I really haven't done much.
Nothing's.
Oh,
really
actually, I did
happened.
start a new position at work, so I'm not working with
Oh,
Trevor
yeah,
anymore.
that's
I've
right.
abandoned him.
He-
Still at the
he-
same company, but
Traitor.
just doing a
That's why
different
he's
thing.
sad.
Just doing a
Yeah.
different thing. Yeah.
Congrats on the new role, Kyle. It's
Appreciate
going well
it.
still, yeah.
Yeah. Live TV. But yeah, you guys want to get into
We'll
your
still go on
review
once.
sections?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we drinking real quick before we do that?
I'm drinking
Since
a
we
Bud
usually forget.
Heavy, but it's the holiday edition that are left over
drinking-
from our
can.
campfire.
Yeah,
The
I'm
other
having a
night.
Bud Light ski.
I've got a Humble Forager IPA.
Nice.
Yeah. In a very nice glass that I just discovered I had for like a year. It's been in a box in a cupboard.
That is a nice glass.
Yeah, it's tight. All right, cool. So yeah, Gangs of New York. Expected to like it more than I did.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a weird one, man. It's a weird one. I think
It's a very weird
it's largely a product of, I think, aging very poorly. It was really hard for me to get around like how racist it was. And I get that it's a product of the time it takes place in, and also the fact that it was made 20 odd years ago and like things were different. This movie probably wouldn't get made the same way now, I would assume. So it took a bit for me to kind of remove myself from that, which isn't necessarily fair to the movie itself because I think it is well made and interesting. I did like the first bit more than the last bit. Like the first hour, I was like very into it, thought it was great, thought it kind of lost its way and didn't really know what it wanted to be. There's like some weird like political kind of undertones to it going on that I don't think are necessarily as hashed out as they could be. But it also kind of gets lost in this like weird love triangle, family vengeance type deal. It was kind of all over the place. And like above all, just can anyone talk to Martin Scorsese and ask him if he can ever make a movie that's not 2 hours and 45 minutes long?
He won't do it. Or you know what he'll tell you? He'll say, "Go watch Mean Streets, bitch."
Did he sign a deal with the devil? Like, did he sell his soul to end, and then in return for getting this thing that he wanted, he only could make 3-hour movies? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand it. And like, this one more than Goodfellas and Casino is like really, I think, falls victim to its length. Because I think if it was 2 hours, I would have probably liked it a lot. But it just has so much room to kind of flounder, which I think it does.
You know, the original runtime before they finished cutting it was an extra hour on top of it.
That's like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And Trevor just showed me his new mouse pad. So like, I don't know. Sorry, that was a mean joke.
Damn.
It wasn't. It was a gift.
It was a gift. I didn't buy it.
It was a gift that he asked for, Will.
I did not ask for it, but regardless.
It's an anime titty mouse pad. For some
I'm not going to
audience
show
clarity.
it just to...
Yeah, we'll get banned.
You'll get us banned off YouTube. We'll get demonetized.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Possible.
Oh, no.
I don't think we would, but
anyway,
maybe,
we're not monetized.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We'll never get
Oh,
monetized.
yeah, then
We'll get blacklisted.
That's true.
Yeah, it was fine. I think it was like probably a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 if I'm being charitable. I think it's very well made. It's Scorsese. The production design is unbelievable. The costuming is great. Daniel Day-Lewis and DiCaprio in particular are very good. It was hard to get around kind of some of the accents, DiCaprio in particular. But yeah, it was fine. I'm ready to not watch a Scorsese film. I think that's maybe a bit of this is just a bit of weariness about his like hyper masculine films. So yeah, it's disappointed though because I thought I would love it, but not so much.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably the last one I'm going to bring for a while. Like, it was really to round off the 3 that I had mentioned before.
Yeah. And I was excited to watch it. I mean, this used to be on like premium cable like all the time when I was a kid, but I've never seen it all the way through. But I definitely have seen the first like 30 minutes or so.
The first battle.
The first battle in like scattered scenes. I remember it being way more violent than it is. Which I think is probably just because stuff is like incredibly violent now. And
there's a lot of blood.
15. There's a lot of blood.
And
I thought
it's gory.
Bashings. It is gory, but I thought
cut
it was
off
like
ears and shit.
Yeah, but compared to what we see nowadays, it's really not that bad.
Yeah. Plus they use that choppy slow motion in the beginning, which I didn't. I didn't like.
Hate that low FPS.
Yeah, they're like the 60 FPS camera doesn't exist, or 120 FPS or whatever.
Yeah, not good.
I just before I get into my thing, I don't think the blood's that bad. It looks like they just smear ketchup on them half the time. To be fair, it's not even that bad. It's not.
There
that
are
bloody.
A few points where it like spurts a bit, and it's like, but I have a memory of it being like them bashing people's heads in and like showing it. So clearly, that's just me being a kid and not having seen a lot of like very hyper violent stuff, which we're now just seeing all the time because it's just like kind of the norm.
By the blood, though, I was meaning the like pools of blood they're lying in when they're on the ground.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Like,
especially in the end.
It's like literal, like the street is filled full of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a lot of blood. Okay. Just pointing it out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Trev.
All right. I really liked it. I knew nothing about this movie, so I was very surprised by the opening in a fucking series of catacombs, and I'm like, what? I was expecting Gangs of New York to be set in, like, about the Italian mob, like all the other movies we've seen.
I thought I had talked about it, how it's not that. Hadn't you mentioned
if you had, it was gone entirely. Like, I don't remember that at all.
That's funny.
What a whiplash.
I'm watching this, like, what the
fuck?
Is this like some sort of medieval prologue or something? And then they come out of the cavern onto old-timey New York, and I'm like, I was just so confused for the first good chunk of this movie. And then I understood what was happening, but it was still just like, what a crazy experience to start a movie expecting another Goodfellas or Casino where you're dealing with like the mob. Yeah. And instead you get the Irish.
Very much not the case. Yeah.
During the Civil War era. It's like
very much not the case at all. That should be funny.
I really enjoyed the movie a lot. Like, I thought it was good. I thought it told an interesting story in an interesting setting we don't see a ton of in modern media. I disagree with you, Will, in that I do think it probably would still be made in a very similar way today. It's set in an era of intense racism and social upheaval. Of course, they're going to say a lot of racial slurs all the time, constantly, and a lot of violence against minorities and stuff like that, including the Irish at this point in time in history.
So, for sure.
Like, yeah, it's, I don't know. I disagreed with that, but regardless, it was a very interesting take on that whole time period. Because, I mean, like, almost any time you see something set in the Civil War era, it's about escaping slaves trying to get to the North and the fight to free the South and that kind of stuff. You never really see what was happening in like the most northern Union area of the United States. And it's like, a lot of people were still mad about that, and we're still awful humans, which was interesting and cool. You're not wrong, and sometimes the movie kind of goes like, hey, we're going to do a love triangle right now. I still enjoyed the plot of it, but it does kind of whiplash around a little bit from like, hey, this thing, and then this thing, and then actually, like, the love triangle is solved. Never mind, it's not solved. It's back to being a problem again. Never mind, it's solved again. Never mind, it's a problem again.
Yeah.
Just a lot of back and forth with that. They never just were like, hey, we've figured this out. It's done. Let's move on to the main plot. The old school fighting, though, was so cool. I love that shit.
Blunt weapons.
Love blunt and bladed weapons. Even like whenever we come back and towards the end of the movie and they're planning the next fight, guns? And they're like, nah, no guns. We're doing this old school.
And he says, good boy.
Like, and I was like, that's awesome. That's rad. I give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Maybe a 9, depending on the day. I would watch it again. Not at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning, like I did last night.
That's a brutal time to watch it, not gonna lie.
I knew I didn't think I would have time. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be out today. So I just was like, I'll watch it tonight when I know I have time and then get like 5 hours of sleep and be tired the rest of the day.
Yeah. Worth it.
Worth. Absolutely worth. Good stuff. I enjoyed it.
Nice. Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Trevor. I'm glad you got some stuff out of it, Will. Or at least have watched it now and can mark it off of a watch list. You know, you can add it to the collection of Scorsese movies you've seen because of Jacob, you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're on 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's more than... have I seen 3 other Scorsese movies? Yeah, I have. But you're close to halfway.
Pretty good. He doesn't have that many more.
No.
But yeah, this is a movie that I loved a lot when I first watched it, and I had seen it 2 times before this, at least 2 times in its entirety, and it was on TV a lot. It was like on HBO and shit when I was growing up, so I would like watch pieces of it here and there because like my dad used to always just like turn movies on. He didn't care at what point during the movie it was on. He would just like turn the channel and we'd be watching Gangs of New York like after it had already been on for 45 minutes and we were like right on. This is fine.
TV era, dude. That's a thing I do miss low key. Just like jumping into a movie at a random
And you could totally do it with a lot of movies, especially that, you know, like older movies. You're just going to fucking jump into it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You figure it out. But yeah, I still loved this movie when I watched it last night. Abby watched it with me for the first time. She had never seen it before. She liked it a lot as well. I do agree with you, Will, that it is a really uncomfortable movie to watch at times because of things that are happening. But the stuff that it's based on, like the draft riots in New York, like they were just horrible fucking events that happened. Like it's still like the worst riot that's ever happened in the U.S. Wow. I was looking up the riot last night. It had like 1,000 injuries and like 100 or so casualties. where like the Union Army was brought in and shit to like quell the riots. The people
That's
of
crazy.
New York were fucking pissed. Like they did not want to be drafted. They said,
That's
fuck
funny.
that war. Because they were all, most of them at least, were terrible degenerates, terrible people. I
Yeah.
mean, you see in this movie firsthand, like the people, even the high up politicians that you see glimpses of, and like Tweed and stuff, they're still terrible people. They may be high society, but they're fucking degenerates.
They're awful humans.
But yeah, I just really love the characters in this movie. Like the characters are super interesting. Like Bill the Butcher, Daniel Day-Lewis' performance is insane. Like I feel like it's like Daniel Day-Lewis, like for me at his like top, when he can be this fucking bizarre character and just delve deep into it. Like he even got good at, he put like a prosthetic piece of plastic over his eye, like for the filming of the movie, and actually was able to tap it without blinking. Like he got good at that just because he's crazy Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I was wondering
That's
how
the
they did
most-
that shot.
Yeah, he just did it. And apparently that was ad-libbed. They didn't even ask him to do that.
He just went like,
He's a
ding, ding, ding.
madman.
Yeah,
That's insane.
apparently he like stayed in character and shit like throughout the filming, and like even when he was like on his own and stuff.
Yeah. Classic
He's just
method.
he's a madman. I also agree with you that Leo's accent is weird. I was
bad.
reading about it. They were like, the vocal coach said it was like supposed to be because he was born in Ireland, but then grew up in New York. It was supposed to be like a muddled combination of not really any other accent. It's like a weird,
Yeah.
but it felt to me during like the movie that like he was choosing to do an accent at one point and then stopped doing it in other scenes. It felt very much like that, where it wasn't consistent. There was like
That
no
feels
through
like
line.
a way. That feels like a way for a guy to justify doing a shitty job of coaching an accent.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I totally get though that the accents that the vocal coach was like trying to
yeah.
do were like
For sure.
super hard,
They're
and
not
they
gonna be
didn't
pure
really
Irish.
know how people talked. They were like, we're not 100% sure. Apparently
Yeah.
they went off plays, like different news articles, and then like a recording of Walt Whitman, and that's what they went off
Yeah.
for the accents. They were like, I guess this is how they sounded.
That's fair. I just feel like if they're gonna go to the trouble to hire Irish actors like Liam Neeson and Brandon Gleeson, just
Yeah.
hire an Irish lead. You know, like I get wanting DiCaprio,
Yeah.
of course, he's a boss, but you know, I like for them to have legitimate Irish people playing these Irish Catholics, and then
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, and Leo and John C. Reilly, like,
And then Daniel
neither of
Day-Lewis
their
is Irish
accents-
and he's playing an American.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, he's obviously like one of the greatest actors
Yeah.
of all time too.
I mean, I thought Leo's accent wasn't that bad because I kind of agreed with that. Where like, I know, like at least for me, I do sometimes have a Southern accent.
You do.
and
You
it,
pop in and out of your accent.
It comes and goes.
Most people,
so
if
that's
they
kind of
if they were seeing you in a movie, Trevor, they'd say you're a bad actor.
yeah. So I'm just like, for me, that's what made it almost more believable because me as a person,
I get that.
It definitely comes and goes depending
That's
on
fair.
who I'm talking to and what I'm talking
The
about.
environment. Yeah.
That's fair.
I totally.
Like-
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I didn't have any problems with the accent.
Yeah.
Just a-
Yeah. I guess I just also have leftovers of his South African accent in Blood Diamond
See, I haven't seen that
not
movie.
being
I haven't
not
seen
being
that.
the best. Yeah.
You're saying
So-
Leo's not a big accent guy.
Not a big accent guy. I guess I'm just bringing a lot of like outside shit,
A lot of
into this
baggage.
movie and calling it not as good because of that, which isn't necessarily fair to the film, but it is a fair reflection of my feelings about it.
Yeah,
so.
you still got to go off what
mean-
you feel, you know.
My reasoning for it being a fine accent was outside as well. It's an outside
Yeah.
influence. So I mean, we all bring it. It doesn't matter.
I forgot to put this on Letterboxd yesterday. Whoops. Oh, I meant to do this in housekeeping, but I did 95 films last year. I watched 95 movies.
That's pretty good.
In the year of 2021. I was shooting for 100, so I'm a little disappointed, but we didn't watch as many Christmas movies this year as I thought we would.
Damn.
So that hurt the tally. But yeah, everybody should be on Letterboxd. It's a great,
I just
great social
downloaded
media.
it last night.
Dude, great. It's phenomenal.
I added
Let's-
you. I
let's be
noticed you
friends.
never added me back.
Okay.
That was kind of fucked up, not going to lie.
I don't get notifications for anything on my phone except email and text.
I was
So
just
if
kind of
I
like,
don't open,
I was like, I'll
if I
try
don't
it
open
out.
the app. But yeah, it's the best. I love it.
What is this? What is this?
It's
thing?
like a
Letterboxd.
yeah. It's like an app you can rate movies and stuff on.
like keep track of what you watch. I just log everything that I watch, so I have like a record of what I've seen and how I felt about it.
Someone made me make an account on a website like that a long time ago. Back in college, it was Alexandra, actually, Jacob. It was that girl.
And you were pissed?
No, I mean, I made it and I put a bunch of movies on it, but I don't remember what the website even was or what my login would be for it at this point. So maybe
fair.
I should get this Letterboxd and try and...
It's fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to tangent us.
No, I mean, we're sponsored by Letterboxd, so guys, make sure you download, use promo code HarborBoys for a discounted checkout.
And we're also monetized on YouTube. We're monetized on YouTube until Trev shows his mouse pad. So
that's true.
Not actually sponsored. Not sponsored.
Casper Mattress. What else do they do?
Yes.
AdamandEve.com.
They would be the only ones to sponsor us, I feel like.
But yeah, you guys want to enter the spoilerini zone? Oh, I didn't give a rating. 9 out of 10. Now entering the spoilerini zone. Almost forgot. Whew, shit. Can't do that again.
It went past me. I would have forgot to. Yeah, where do you guys want to start?
You want to start talking about that beginning battle again? We only briefly touched on it.
Yeah, I would love to. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Why are the kids there?
The kids are there to watch.
The kids are there to be
There is no
hardened.
house.
They live in a cave.
I was like, why is this dude walking out into a battlefield? He's like 4 years old. Also, his fuck you Tink, his like when he talks to his friend.
Yeah.
He's like, are you Nathans or dead rabbits? And he's like, fuck you Tink, or natives, I guess. It's not Nathans, but
Nathan's hot dogs.
I wrote it down as Nathans because that's what it sounds like.
Oh, really?
Before they introduced the natives, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, good battle. I love Brendan Gleeson. I just want to see him in everything.
I really wanted more Liam Neeson. Man, Liam Neeson is the man.
Liam Neeson did a great job.
This is I feel like this is like the first thing that I saw him in where I was like, damn, Liam Neeson's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's
one of my notes.
Just another moment also that got me was his fucking badass cross scabbard for his sword. That was so cool.
Just a big blood cross, a Roman Catholic cross.
Big Roman Catholic cross, and he pulls a fucking sword out of. I'm just like, yes, yes to all of that. That is so badass.
Huge underutilization of him. Like, just pay him probably an absurd amount of money just to come in for one scene.
Yeah.
And then kick the bucky.
I mean, apparently that's the character he wanted to be. Really? Scorsese had wanted him to be Gleason's character, the barber guy.
The monk?
Yeah, Monk. He wanted him to be Monk, and then Neeson was like, no, I want to play Priest Vallon.
That's pretty cool. I respect that.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad because Brendan Gleeson should be in every... Like I said, I just want to see him all the time. I was so happy to see him.
His character was awesome.
Dude,
he was great.
It's fucking
He was great. He got
bullshit.
dirty.
His death.
Why
the fuck would he turn his back on Bill, dude?
That was such bullshit.
Bill.
Brutal.
Yeah, I was pissed.
He turned his back and got a cleaver to the back right after he won the election, which was rigged election, not gonna lie.
Oh my god. That was...
Nothing has changed, am I right, guys?
Voting for people like 4 times.
I want to talk, like, oh my god, yeah, like, go shave, go back, vote again, keep vote, like...
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
they were talking about, like, oh yeah, you won by 30, like, 3, or the other guy won by 3,000 more people than there are actually registered voters, and he's like, make it 10,000.
We're all out of ballots. All you need is the
cares?
counters.
It was great.
What the fuck?
While we're at this part of the movie, I think one of the things that threw me off a lot, this is towards kind of the end of the film, is when they suddenly are in, like, I guess, uptown or whatever, and they're at the rich guy's house playing pool, and all of a sudden we're looking at all these wealthy aristocrats who have been completely absent from the movie except for the one, I guess, the mayor. I don't know what his position is.
Are you talking about Boss Tweed?
Maybe. I don't know his name. The
Tweed
guy
was
that Bill talks to a lot.
Yeah, Tweed was the main politician, but the other aristocrats were like a newspaper guy and some other like high society gang kind of guy or something.
Right. So they get introduced, I think, earlier in the film, like when they're walking downtown. Like I think Tweed is giving them a tour. But then all of a sudden, towards the end of the movie, we're just like at their house. That felt very like out of nowhere to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, Boss Tweed, like, just historically is like one of the most corrupt New York politicians during the time. He's like super famous for like all the horrible corrupt shit he did in New York.
Okay.
So like it makes sense that they want to give him a little bit more background because he's a pretty
Yeah.
important character.
Okay, that's the one thing I meant to say earlier too, is that this is the type of movie that I would normally go look up a bunch of stuff on after I watched it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it seems interesting historically, but I didn't want to, because I didn't want my opinion of the film to be tainted by perhaps like coming across other opinions. So
Yeah, I get that.
because I am interested to see like, you know, how historically accurate it is. I didn't know it was based on a real riot. You know, I think there was is this based on a book, or was there a book written about similar things? I had this book
It's
as a
like
kid
loosely
and
based
never
on
read it.
a book. There's like a book called The 5 Points that was drawn a lot from it. And there's also
Yeah,
a
I
book
had that
called
book.
Gangs of New York that is also
I had one of
loosely based
those
on.
and never read it, but I remember being interested in it as a kid.
Yeah.
Because of this movie. So, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to go change into shorts real quick because I'm very hot.
Oh,
so
no, there
go
it
ahead.
Oh my god.
Trev, did you like the brief mention of P.T. Barnum and a little bit that he got? The fucking,
That was cool. The elephants and stuff.
Yeah,
at
they
the-
fucking burned down his museum.
That was crazy.
And the
Did that
elephants
actually
just
happen?
running through the streets.
Do we know if that happened?
I don't know if the P.T. Barnum stuff happened. It definitely could have happened.
It seems such a weird detail for them to put into the movie.
It probably did happen.
It feels like it had to have actually happened for them because it didn't like have any consequence on the final battle.
No.
It didn't have any real consequences. It just was more like, hey, here's a wacky thing.
Yeah, it was just bizarre.
Some of the animals got loose from P.T. Barnum. Let's have it run through this battle.
Yeah.
That I assume this battle didn't actually take place. This gang war.
The first one did. The first battle happened. But the second battle, the guy that Bill the Butcher is based on was already dead at the time when the riots happened.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's something. They didn't do really any work to age any of these people.
no, they really did not.
It was like 16 years later. Oh, he looks the exact same as
And then
he has always looked.
It does say 16 years later in like the card, the title card that comes across.
And then it says 17 later.
But
Or 15.
Bill also says 15 years ago.
He does say 15,
like
yeah.
when the battle happened during the movie, during the dialogue. But I
Inconsistent.
can kind of see it as like it's inconsistent and it's a continuity error, but I can kind of see it to where like they don't even know how many years have passed. Like fucking Leo doesn't even know how old he is.
Which, to be fair, the way he grew up, he probably has no idea when he was born. His dad died early on, so if his dad ever told him when he was born, he's kind of like probably forgot, especially after living in like a friggin' prison basically most of his life.
Yeah, the like reform.
See, that's funny because
prison thing.
I took Leo saying he doesn't know how old he was because he says that to Bill, right?
He does say
Yeah.
that to Bill, yeah.
I took that as him trying to like,
Hide who he was.
yeah, thank you. I was trying to get.
I got you. I
Yeah,
could see
hide
that,
who- hide
and
who
I
he
thought
was,
a
yeah.
similar thing, but also I feel
But
like
I
it's like
didn't.
both.
I didn't catch these year discrepancies, so I think it's more that. But I did take it at face value when watching it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's a
Also-
bit of both.
yeah.
First.
I was away from the mic, but the elephant, that was so sad.
It was sad.
Well,
The
if it
people were
doesn't
chasing
die-
him.
I'm already very sad right now with this battle, and I'm even more sad. There's
Yeah.
like a poor circus elephant.
Well,
being
I mean,
chased out of town.
the riots themselves portrayed in the movie were insanely brutal. Like
They're awful.
they show like lynchings of people,
Yeah.
people burning, people being like buildings being looted and burned to the ground, people
Yeah.
being gunned down in the streets by the Union
Yeah.
Army. It's like
It was tough. That was
Insane.
like, ooh, I can't. I don't
It
have a
is-
stomach for this.
it was brutal.
Also, maybe this is largely because I've watched all of the new season of Queer Eye with Riss in the last weekend, which is incredibly emotional, and I've just been crying.
that is
all
an
weekend.
emotional show.
So maybe I'm in like a much more sensitive place than I normally am, and this just didn't sit quite as well with me because I've just been crying at Queer Eye all
Damn.
weekend, like truly all weekend. It's
Damn.
a wonderful show. Like you should watch it, but it is.
I watched the first
emotionally
season.
Charged. It's so good. This one is the best one they've made, probably.
Damn.
It's really good. Well, also because it's like it's like in the midst of a pandemic, so they
Yeah.
focus on a lot of people who have been doing like community outreach during this, who need like help, and it's like just it's great. I was just sobbing
Yeah.
on the couch. So I was in a pretty, I think, raw place. And then coming in to watch, like, you literally see people get lynched. And then, like, they're burning the lynched bodies
Yeah.
and then beating the burning lynched bodies
Yeah.
with clubs. And I was like, this is, like, a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need this right now.
Yeah. It's super fucking disturbing. It's really hard to watch.
But I mean, but that makes sense then with you telling me that it's the most brutal riot in the history of America. Like, I get it. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
like they did hunt down black people in the streets and lynch them
Yeah.
in the riots.
It's fucking awful.
It's so messed up.
Yeah.
It's awful. What do we think of, to take a hard pivot? Also, shout out to Trevor's Bush Apple sponsorship.
Yeah.
He just came back with a Bush Apple. Hard pivot off of that terrible shit. What do we think of Cameron Diaz as an actress?
Not the best, but
As an actress
Young Cameron
overall,
is a pretty lady.
yeah, she is.
On that note, I'm gonna go get a beer.
Overall, I consider Cameron Diaz to be actually a pretty decent actress. I have like one or two rom-coms that I actually really enjoy, and one of them stars her.
Something About Mary?
No, it's
Oh, really? That's her, like, classic rom-com.
The Holiday, I think. Maybe
Don't
it's
know
got
if I've
her,
seen it.
Jude Law, Jack Black, and Kate Winslet. I want to say
Oh, no idea. That's a crazy cast. I'm not familiar with that at all.
it's really cute. It's a really good one.
Dang.
Like Cameron Diaz was like a movie trailer maker
Yeah.
and in that movie and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool, cute rom-com. But regardless, I like Cameron Diaz.
What movie? Sorry, I just came back.
The Holiday?
Oh,
Holiday?
okay. With Jack Black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a movie that's real? I thought Trevor was making something up. I've literally never heard of this before.
That's one of the Christmas movies that Abby loves a lot. I've never seen it.
It's a Christmas rom-com, and it's really cute, and I like it a lot, actually. So
Okay. It's a good cast. It's a very good cast.
it's a great cast, yeah.
I like Kate Winslet. She's great.
Like Jack Black.
Jack Black's
Yeah,
really
Jack
good
Black's
in it.
great too. Yeah. So is Jude Law.
Jude Law's great.
So you were saying, Trevor, she's in one of the.
I enjoy her overall as an actress.
Yeah.
And I thought she was okay in this, but also she could have been better. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't really have any opinion on her. I was thinking when I watched this yesterday, like, what's the last thing she's done? Like, I haven't seen her in years, it feels like. I just know she was very popular in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Charlie's Angels is obviously, like, I think the major cultural touch point for her career.
Yeah.
But she wasn't that bad, and I don't think she was that bad.
She wasn't bad. No, I think she
No.
was just fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think I expected to be underwhelmed by her performance, and I wasn't. I also liked her character. I liked at least in the beginning. I liked when they
Her
were
as, like, a
kind of
pickpocket?
playful with each other, and the pickpocket and
Yeah.
the scene when they go uptown to the mansion and she's like robbing them, and then he confronts her about the locket.
Yeah.
Was fun.
I mean, she definitely has charisma, you know, like you can't
yeah.
knock her for that at all. Like she is
Yeah.
a super charismatic actress on screen, you know, like
Yeah.
kind of makes all of her characters likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I liked her character overall.
yeah. She had an interesting backstory, you know. She was like the same sort of thing where as Leo's character Amsterdam, where he was like, they were both like orphans basically, you know.
Yeah.
But she was raised by Bill the Butcher, and he went to a fucking prison orphanage.
Yeah. Crazy that she just turned on Bill like that too. Like,
Yeah,
I think
she really did fucking pivot on him hard.
Yeah,
She's like,
she
he
was-
raised me kind of like a father. Fuck you. But also
Fuck
had
you.
sex with
They
her and
had
shit.
sex, so-
until she had scars. So
And then he was
weird,
like,
weird
nah.
dynamic. Not gonna lie.
Very weird.
Yeah.
A little bit of grooming, I guess, if you want to call
Probably,
it that.
yeah,
which
honestly,
is-
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what that is.
She can't have been too old. Yeah,
Let's not think about that too much.
No, let's talk about Bill the Butcher.
Yeah.
I think I think Daniel Day-Lewis just by default will always have a lot of kind of showpiece moments in film.
Oh yeah.
A, because he is so talented, but B, I think also because if you're a director hiring him, you're going to make these huge showpiece moments for him.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, he's that like magnetic. So I'm curious what you all thought was your favorite Bill the Butcher scene.
I think for me, just off the top of my head, is when he shows up in the room after Leo.
I was gonna say this one.
Yeah,
too.
like after he has sex with Cameron Diaz's character, Jenny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what it
I was
is.
gonna say
Jenny.
Jane. Yeah, it's Jenny. Yeah.
Jenny. After him and Jenny finally have sex, and he just wakes up, and Bill's just sitting there with a flag around him.
Yeah, wrapped around him. He had just been shot the night before, or earlier that night.
Yeah, and he's just like staring at them, and then he goes on and talks about his history with the priest and all of that. And it was just a really
Monologue.
Bill is an awful human. As like his character is an awful person. He's a racist in multiple ways. He's violent. He's mean. He's cruel.
Yep.
But like that whole monologue, I was like, a little bit of respect. Just
What?
just like
I don't know if respect is the right word.
No,
You're classic, Trevor.
the respect in that like his like feeling of honor in combat, that kind of whole aspect of his character.
His
so
like
that respect, like
Okay.
he like
his feeling towards Priest Valen.
yeah, he was just like, man, that guy is like everything I hate, but
I respect him.
great man.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like, and so he respected him, and then I respected that respect, if that makes sense.
It's sort of insane how much his character respected Priest Valen.
It was
Like to be able for that type of character to be able to look through that much hatred, it feels like it makes him so much more of a dynamic character, you know? That like he can see the other aspects of that man's leadership and everything, and like see that he was pretty much the same person, but like but a different religion and from Ireland instead of being born in New York.
Yeah. And it's evident from the jump too, because he like when he kills him, he's like, no one touches this body.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he deserves to be laid like full,
He goes across Hull, like he's talking about like across the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he gets to go across Hull. I was like, man, that's really cool.
I mean, he even had a tombstone and everything. Bill didn't even get a
did.
tombstone.
Bill got a wood cross that rotted away very quickly.
Yeah, straight away.
We'll circle back to that moment because I do have thoughts about that too. But it's interesting. I think my like favorite scene of Bill's, or that is largely Bill's, is the one in the playhouse or the bar. I don't know, the one where he basically tries to kill Amsterdam. What the fuck's his name?
The pagoda, the Chinese pagoda, or whatever they call
When they're
it.
there
he
for
does,
the
like, he does the knife stunt with Jen.
when they're there for the
Jenny, and
anniversary of the battle.
yeah, man, whew, God, he's so like unhinged and like psycho in that
Whoopsie daisy.
One of my notes is whoopsie daisy.
Also, that was an ad-libbed line apparently.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like
Because
it
he
makes
was
me wanna go
completely
back and
unhinged,
watch.
tapping his eyes saying whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, he was fucking bananas in that scene. I really want to watch There Will Be Blood again after watching this.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I just want to. I need more Daniel Day-Lewis energy in my life right now. Toxic DDL energy.
Dude, I need to rewatch that movie too. I've seen it one time. I watched it in
Me too.
in high school, and I haven't seen it since.
Me too.
But that is such an iconic movie of like intense Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah,
Never seen it.
I think I'll probably like it a lot more now too. 'cause
That's
it's
where the
a
milkshake
very-
scene is from, Trevor.
Yeah,
And I
the
drink your milkshake.
Okay,
know?
so you say milkshake scene, and I immediately think of
Oh, don't say it. Don't say
Pulp
it. We'll
Fiction?
get canceled.
it's Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Why would he get canceled from Pulp Fiction?
I didn't think it was gonna be Pulp Fiction. I was making a joke about it being like some like freaky.
You thought it was gonna be
milkshake.
Oh,
Anti-milkshake.
No,
or
what?
like the song, the milkshake brings all the boys.
All the boys.
That's a
Yeah.
classic.
I mean,
that's
my
No,
first
definitely
reference for
Pulp
Milkshake,
Fiction.
To be honest,
No, of
Milkshake
course
was a
it's-
banger.
The Pulp Fiction milkshake scene is iconic. You can't not.
That's a pretty fucking good milkshake.
I honestly, you're both gonna yell at me, but I don't remember that scene.
What? That's when Vincent
I've
Vega
never-
is on the date with Uma Thurman's character.
Yeah, where they do the dance.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before that, when she orders a milkshake, and he's like, it's a $5 shake, and he's like, the shake is $5.
$5.
He's like, I need to try this shake, and he takes a
Is there,
sip
like,
of it. He's
bourbon
like,
in it or
he's like, that's a
something?
pretty fucking good shake. Yeah, he
great.
asked the waiter if it has bourbon in it, like Trevor was saying.
I've never seen Pulp Fiction front to back.
What? I've seen that movie probably like 15 times.
I've seen all of it.
Trevor, who has
I
never
know,
seen a
I
movie
know,
in his fucking
I know.
life, has seen that movie front to back.
That's one of my most deeply held film shames, is that I've never seen it front to back.
Why don't you just watch
I've seen
it?
every other Tarantino film. I don't know why I don't just watch it. I've been meaning to. I've almost done it a bunch of times, but I've seen it. I've seen it all. It's just been in chunks on TV. Anyway, that Daniel Day-Lewis scene is great. And the act of throwing his butcher knife up in the air, and the act of throwing his butcher knife up in the air and just like letting it land, absolutely horrifying, and like one of the tensest moments in the entire movie. Which has
asking the
a lot of those
audience like what body part to cut off or what organ to cut out.
Yeah,
Cut out his heart.
Very, very
He
good.
doesn't
scene.
have one. That was good.
Very good scene.
Yeah, it's a super intense scene, but also fuck his friend, dude.
Fuck Johnny. Fuck that guy.
Fuck Johnny.
Like
He's a
that
bum.
character kind of makes no sense. Like
Yeah.
He's a bum.
like
He's a bum.
I don't understand. It seemingly comes out of nowhere. It's really I get it. It's because he's mad at like him dating Cameron Diaz's character Jenny.
Which is
Jenny.
stupid.
But like
Which is stupid.
he needs to realize he's not the main character. I think he needs to realize that. Like, bro, you are not the main character.
You're not.
Clearly,
You're
Leo
you're
is.
really not, dude.
Because he
Figure it out.
tells on him, he tattles on him, and then which Bill almost kills him in that moment. And then
which is
he
awesome.
tries to go back to Leo when he's forming the Dead Rabbits again. And then this motherfucker gets exiled, obviously gets exiled.
Yeah.
And then Bill's still pissed at him anyway and kills his ass.
Yeah.
Like it almost looked like he was going to find Bill too. Like I don't think he was, because he got pulled into the bar forcefully
Yeah.
before he gets like put on a spike or whatever. But
Yeah.
I bought
know,
that.
man.
I bought that as him actually trying to leave town. Also,
don't go by
How
that
did-
bar if you're trying to leave town. Go with some
How-
other way.
how does Leo know that he's strung up?
I assume
The
somebody's
streets
like,
are empty. Streets are empty.
You
and
always
he comes
know.
Tearing.
You always
He comes
know.
tearing down the street. Did he get a text?
You
Like, what's
always
going on?
you got a text, brother.
I'm assuming some street kid came running like, Johnny's
yeah.
hung up on
Yeah.
the fence.
Oh yeah, dude. They
that
should have
point-
showed the street kid though. He's dirty
At
as
that point,
fuck.
wasn't he,
Yeah.
he exiled. He like who was his people at that point?
No, because that was when he was forming the Dead Rabbits again. So he had like a good amount of people when they were rebuilding the church and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he had a
Oh,
good amount of
speak-
informants and everything at that point.
Speaking of the church, I absolutely loved the scene when the other Irish guy that's like the bald one.
McGloin.
Oh, yeah,
McGloin.
yeah. Is that his name,
comes in
McGloin?
there and is praying and then starts shouting about a black man being in the church.
Fuck
and then
that
the
guy.
the priest is just like he turns to the
knocks
priest,
him
is like,
out.
"Can you believe it?" And he knocks the that was so good.
Yeah,
He's like,
that was
"Fuck
good.
you. That's not how we do it here."
Also, the black actor that's a part of the Dead Rabbits is, I don't know his real name, which I should have looked it up, but
He
he plays
is,
D'Angelo Barksdale on The Wire.
Lawrence
which is-
Gilliard Jr.
Yeah, he is
He
one of
did-
the
he's
most
good.
iconic TV roles, for me, at least, on The Wire. He's like an incredible character in that show.
I still need to watch The Wire. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's in the
I haven't seen it either.
he's in The Wire, and he's amazing in it.
He's got a great name in this though. Jimmy Spoils. I love that name.
Yeah, good name.
good.
Jimmy
It's a strong
Jimmy
name.
Spoils.
Poor
Strong
Jimmy.
name.
Yeah, Rip though, because he was one of the people
know.
that died in the riot.
Yeah, he got caught
which
up
was
in
awful. Like, don't show me. I don't want to see that, dude. Just like, don't show me that. Like, it's bad enough that you're showing it like over and over, but don't show him. Like,
it. They
he
gotta
actually-
listen. Sometimes these things happen.
It's fucked up.
You gotta show it.
It's fucked up.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
It's very
for sure.
brutal.
How do we feel about the ending?
What, like that last scene of them going to
No,
the?
I don't want to get. I don't want to get to that yet.
Okay. Which
Talk
part
about like
then?
the ending.
Are you talking about the time
bombardment of the
lapse?
city? Yeah, I'm talking about the time lapse.
Oh no, yeah, we're gonna leave the time lapse for the end because
Okay.
I don't want to get too angry.
The craziness that they would bombard the city with black powder cannons, where they have little to no control over where that cannonball finally ends up.
What's the IMFDB on that cannon, Trev?
That's a good question.
Lord,
that's
that's a
honestly
bit-
good question. Can
That's
I
a
get
bit
that?
far outside
Is
of
he
my
looking it up right now?
wheelhouse.
I just saw the
I
screen
am.
light up.
Yeah, Trevor's face is.
I'm pretty sure
Google.
the Union Army is, in fact, pretty sure using Springfields.
Okay.
But
That's
let me
good.
make sure.
I love that Trevor is just game to play this stupid bit every
I
time
love
we
it.
ask
It's
him.
good.
It's my favorite thing.
What is the IMFDB on the cannon fire? That I don't even know if that actually happened. If they bombarded the city, I couldn't find if that happened or not.
I can't imagine.
I doubt they
just,
bombarded
destroyed
the
whole
city.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, how could you?
I mean, they easily could have because things didn't matter back then.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
All right, let's
But
see.
still.
So we got the single shot boot pistol, which we see all throughout the movie.
I
Cameron
love that
Diaz's
thing. That
character
thing was
has
great.
it.
The little whoosh.
Why does she cock the pistol for him when he shoots Johnny? I didn't understand that. They make such a point of showing her do it for him.
Because he probably, that's another step that he would have had to have taken before
Yeah.
shooting his friend, former friend, whatever.
I
It's
can
like,
drive with that.
literally all you have to do at this point is pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's fair. That was brutal.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
it ends with him screaming and firing the weapon.
Yeah.
With the pull away
Yeah.
shot.
And
That's
he
a
can't
good
even look
shot.
at it. Yeah,
That's
it's
a good
shot.
scene.
It's a very good shot.
I'm surprised that they used a gun, though. That's so loud. I figured he would have just,
Didn't matter.
stabbed
Well, he
him.
heard it. Bill heard it.
Yeah, he
looked up
did.
when they
That was
heard
a
the
cool.
gunshot.
That was a cool moment. But at the moment, I was like, "Don't do that. Everyone's gonna hear you and come out and kill you."
No, they're not going to kill him because they're waiting for the battle. It was all honor, Trevor.
It was all.
That's
honor.
why he didn't kill him in the first place.
Also, that scene of another Dan Day scene while Trevor's on. Okay, no, go ahead.
I was right. It was a Springfield.
Okay,
musket
but we were
that the
asking
Union
about
Army-
cannon fire, Trevor.
I'm getting to
we
the
said-
cannons. I'm getting there.
All right. While he gets to the cannons, the
They're
scene,
just
after
called
Bill-
ship cannons.
No, they aren't.
Wow.
On here, they're just called ship cannons. Unfortunately, they don't have
Canceled.
any
Are
specific
we
models.
Are we removing our IMFDB sponsorship?
Yes, we
No,
are. Take
never.
off the
I
sweatshirt.
love.
Take off the
no,
sweatshirt.
Sending back.
Never.
merch.
No, it's mine.
It's his merch.
The scene after Bill kills Monk. What's the Tweed guy's name?
Boss Tweed.
Tony Tweed.
Boss Tweed.
Boss Tweed. When Boss Tweed comes
Big
to
Boss Nass.
comes to Bill's house to yell at him about killing Monk, about killing an elected official, and Bill's just making a steak, and then he just throws his steak on his table, no plate, no nothing, and
Yeah.
then just starts eating it off the table. That made me laugh. It's just a funny detail.
That's good.
That was good.
Trevor's neck deep in IMFDB right
I
now.
am. There's a lot of different guns in this. Yeah, it's good. It's
That's
good
really
stuff.
good, dude.
Yeah.
England cutlass pistol is what Amsterdam tried to use to assassinate Bill the Butcher during the fire drinking scene.
I will say I am kind of sad that there wasn't another full scale battle between the gangs.
Yeah, that was kinda lame.
It kind of sucks that it was ended in a bombardment.
Yeah.
But it is cool to
fair.
see the people come together during the bombardment when they're helping each other. It doesn't matter what side they're on, trying
it's
to get to safety.
We gotta get out of here.
They instantly forgot they were just about to kill each other anyway.
Yeah.
I wanna pull forward a little scene from the first battle. I forgot to mention.
Copy.
Bill does a real dirty ass fucking move to kill the priest, Liam Neeson's character, by pulling one of his own men and throwing him at Liam Neeson to distract him long enough so he could come in and just stab him real quick. That's not honorable combat. That's fucked up.
That's combat though.
It's not honorable combat. That's fucked up. He sacrificed one of his own men just to get a quick little jab in there.
I think he realized that he wasn't gonna have the sort of distance that Liam did with the fucking sword, dude.
he did have just knives, and Liam had the actual sword
Yeah.
with his badass cross saber. I'll say again. Cross scabbard.
And you leave the blood on the knife. You leave the blood on the
That's
knife.
so bad for a blade. It's
No.
insane. Why would he say that?
Yeah.
That's
16
so
years
bad for the
later, he
blade.
comes back
It's
and
rusty
gets
as
it.
shit.
It's
That
dirty,
blade is
gross.
rusted
full
as
of hepatitis.
when he cut himself, he's got tetanus. 100%.
Bloody-
That's insane.
You leave the blood on the knife.
That's so. Ugh.
We should have made
I think
Cam
my
do this whole
accent's
podcast
better
on
than
an
I
Irish
think my
accent.
accent's better
It
than,
is.
than Leo's.
Yeah, just you saying the word knife is better than every accent in that movie, including the Irish people.
I should have been an actor. Fuck.
I love the. Oh god, what gang? It was the gang that had the hats that everyone was like, no one knows what the fuck they're saying.
Oh
They have
yeah,
such a thick accent.
Because were they speaking Gaelic or something?
They were like Irish as a language, so I think they were speaking just probably a weird dialect. of
Gaelic.
Irish.
Isn't it Gaelic?
Gaelic is a language.
I thought Irish was like a separate language from Gaelic.
He's Googling now. I don't know. I thought it was
Yeah, me
Gaelic.
either. I did too. He says something at one point where you can understand what he's saying. One of those guys, but
Well, because he switches to English at one, like eventually.
oh, okay, then yeah, that's what.
Because they were like, we
So-
can't understand you. And then at one point, I forget who Tweet is talking to. He's like, do they not speak English in New York anymore?
Yeah,
He like couldn't understand anyone. Because that was when he was like in talking, trying to get the Irish on his side, right? That was when he went to the Dead
Yeah.
Rabbits.
yeah.
Trevor has his finger up. He's about to
I
he's about
do.
to drop some knowledge, actually.
I'm about to drop some knowledge. All right, so apparently, when you translate
Copy.
the Irish language to English, they do refer to it as Irish. But if you actually are talking about the language, even in Irish, it's Gaelic or Gaelica. It's not pronounced Gaelic. It's not pronounced Gaelic. Gaelic is referring to the culture
We just
and the people of Ireland.
Copy that.
We just found a new Patreon segment. Trevor explains foreign languages and also
I
has to
like
pronounce them
knowledge.
Phonetically. That's
Oh no, that's
our
gonna
new
be
Patreon.
real bad.
That's our
That's gonna-
tier 2. Tier 2 on the Patreon.
That is tier 2. You actually had to pay $69 for that one, unfortunately.
You don't have a
And
The pod tier.
420 cents.
disclaimer. We still do not have a Patreon.
Trevor's still Sag.
All right,
It's not
so
sad. I just need to make sure I keep all this clean and above board.
Why does the last scene exist?
What the
We all know the movie takes place in New
slideshow?
York. Like, what is the point?
I think it's because the last line when he's like, no one will even know this happened. And it's because it was just buried with time. That's what
so
they were trying to
ham-fisted.
show. I know,
It's
but
so
that's what they were
ham-fisted.
showing. Is that it was buried with
Scorsese-
time and no one knows. It was dumb. I didn't
Scorsese
like
just
it.
is
Hey,
so
Also-
unsubtle.
I'm on your side.
This movie came out in 2002, right?
Yes.
Weren't the Twin Towers already?
Yeah, but the production
Gone?
was
Production
through
probably ended
2001.
before it.
Like,
Yeah.
I know, but like
you
I
wanted
feel
them
like
to
that's-
edit that shit out.
Not edit it out, just like maybe
You want
have
them to
one last
CGI out the Twin Towers, Trevor?
yeah, one last little transition of the towers being there, and then they're not.
I
there.
did.
No,
I did expect them to do that, honestly.
I fully expected
and then it would
was
say
my
R.I.P. 9/11.
Never forget. Never forget.
R.I.P. September 11th.
They do the thing where like the picture, it looks like a cross is in between the two towers. You ever seen that picture on Facebook?
Yeah.
They do one of those.
No, I don't
do
really
that.
go on Facebook.
Trevor's shared that
Yeah,
like
there's
50
just
times.
that's just not a good scene. I think lends itself to completely. Scorsese is not a subtle filmmaker. I think is
Whoops.
kind of the takeaway
There's
there.
gonna be a fuck up in the video there, Trevor. Sorry.
Oh no!
No, it's fine.
Damn it.
They just see my.
Did you maximize him?
No. I accidentally like my mouse went to the bottom corner of the screen, so it like minimized you guys. So it was just my desktop for like a second.
It's a good desktop.
It's fine.
I
It'll be
think
fine.
the interesting thing about Scorsese and subtlety is that I think The Irishman is him discovering what it is to make a subtle film
Haven't seen it yet.
while still being
you got
Still
it. For
haven't
me.
seen it.
You got it.
fucked up. I bought it. Yeah, I bought it for him 2 months ago.
It's like a 4-hour movie.
I know. I'm kidding. I don't care at all. It's
Is that gonna be an episode?
Right now, I have so much TV I'm trying to get caught up on.
Yeah, you gotta watch Succession,
Which,
dude.
yeah, I still need to watch Succession, but to add into the housekeeping, I watched the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett last night.
Not good.
Mandalorian's
No?
way better. It was okay. It was okay.
I haven't
Dude,
started
no,
it yet.
no.
I'm watching Hawkeye right now.
The main actor is
It
not
wasn't
good
even-
enough to carry at all.
It wasn't
that's
even okay.
unfortunate.
I thought the first episode was truly dog shit.
Thoughts,
I was like,
thoughts
what am
about
I
him
even
as an
watching?
actor?
Oh no!
Yeah, not good. He
Yeah.
doesn't deserve to carry
Don't
a
tell
TV
me
show.
this. I
agree.
want it to be good.
No, dude, The Mandalorian.
Oh.
The Mandalorian
Trevor,
slaps so much harder, dude. It's
We
crazy.
all want it to be good, dude. But
We
it
do.
was-
I want it
was
to be
like,
good.
what am I watching? Like,
But-
That's
truly, what am I
unfortunate. Oh, I don't like to hear
Well, because it
that.
really is. There wasn't really much that happened of
watching?
significance.
Nothing happens. Nothing. It's the worst pilot I've ever
That's-
seen.
Yeah, it was not great. But
That's sad.
I also am in the midst of watching Cowboy Bebop still, which is also not very good.
You are? I've given up on it. I completely
Well, I
gave
take
up on
about
it.
I take about a week or 2 week break in between the episodes.
So wait, do you like it less now? Because when we last spoke about it, you said it was fun.
Well, it's also because you guys were pissing me off.
I've
why?
completely
because
given up on it.
I had like watched the first 2 episodes and I liked them, and you guys wouldn't stop talking about the ending and about how much you disliked it. It was just pissing me
I
off.
didn't even
was
get
just
to
like,
the
shut
ending.
fuck
I
up.
didn't even get to the ending. I just talked about how much I hated it as a whole. It's not
I feel
good.
like all I said was it ended badly.
Hey, listen.
All right, now I know. I'm sorry, Jacob.
But the episode, I don't care. I don't care at all. But the episode about what's his name, Jet's background, I hated that episode. It was terrible. What an awful episode.
I didn't even make it to it. I just hated everything else.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Trevor, I can't believe you're not just watching it for the culture.
Yeah, you are
I'm
kind
not.
of a bitch for that, Trevor.
It's
I
really
need to-
disappointing.
Maybe I'll go back to...
I watched that shit in a weekend.
Trevor, you don't even do anything.
I have a lot of anime
Trevor,
to watch.
truly the busiest man in America.
He is honestly the busiest man in America. They're
It's
going to make a show
insane.
about him soon on NBC.
And he's
Busiest man in
always
America.
saying how sad and alone he is, yet he's always doing something. I
am
put my
always
finger
doing
on it.
stuff. I don't
Can't put
know.
my finger on it.
I've said I'm alone. Let's not get into this in the podcast.
No,
Can
let's
we
dig
just
deep
not-
into it because you know
No.
what this is? This is Trev's therapy corner. That's what it is.
No,
This
if we
is
keep talking
after,
about it,
after the
I'm
Jacob
gonna hold the
berates
mouse pad
Will
up.
corner. It goes now to the to the Trevor therapy corner.
If we keep talking about it, I'll hold the mouse pad up.
I'm just
Don't-
gonna quickly
Don't tempt me.
quickly say, Jacob, that I'm already in season 2 of Succession on my rewatch.
oh
so
shit, are you really?
You really have no excuse.
Don't yell
just
at me.
Go for it, dude. And I watched all of the Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit's great.
Yeah, but you're crazy. You're doing like so many things at once. I don't know how you have the
Yeah.
attention span for all this
I'm
stuff.
I'm watching these shows like in increments while Tarkov loads.
I can't do that. I have to go and like
can't-
sit down and watch.
I didn't
something.
think that I could.
Yeah, no,
but
I like to
can.
sit and watch a thing.
Tarkov has exposed new depths of my humanity.
Yeah, and it's disturbed.
It's hate.
It is.
It's awful.
And he's listening
I'm
to Disturbed
depraved.
as he's doing it. That's good. We're gonna get fucking banned now.
We just got DMCA'd.
Trev takes
Yeah.
a drink. He's like, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
he's like Bush Apple. As long as they see the Bush Apple can every 30 seconds, I still got my sponsorship, so we're good. Trevor's rolling. He's got
I should have wore the
button
shirt.
down.
I should have wore the
He's got
shirt.
should've.
Bush Apple. Button
I told you
down.
you got to wear that to work sometime.
I
But do you
feel
guys
like
have
it's not
any final things about? I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. It's like we
So,
didn't touch on everything, but you know.
No, there's a
It's
lot to
long
talk
movie.
about.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to mention: was there a Martin Scorsese cameo in
Yes,
like the
yes.
beginning middle?
I caught
Okay,
it.
so it was him. Okay, I was like, wait,
I
what
caught
the
it.
fuck?
Trevor caught it. Yeah, he's a dad.
Yeah, he's the
He's
dude
the
at
dad
the
in the house that she
mansion.
robs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, good. So it
It
was
was great.
him.
You can't.
I didn't
you can't
verify.
See those eyebrows.
That was the
Bro, look
only
at the
note.
eyebrows.
It was the only note I took. I was like, was that fucking Scorsese?
Yeah, he pulled a Stan Lee.
Yeah, he
got
did.
A little cameo in. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Really?
Does he often do that?
It was more of an Alfred Hitchcock thing than a Stan Lee. Stan Lee was never the director.
That's fair.
So
That's absolutely
Alright.
accurate.
Fuck me. I'm gonna go.
you
fucking
kind of
jump out
have
the
to
window.
log off now, dude. You just got fucked. Sorry,
That's-
Trevor, go ahead. But Will, embarrassing. All right.
It's
so-
very embarrassing for Will. I kind of want to. I kind of don't even want to say my thing. And just leave
Trevor
it at
is
that.
very embarrassing.
We should just end it there on a note of shame.
That's not shame at all.
It's not. So
I'm
my actual
devastated.
thing is, I think the end credit scene, or like not end credit scene, but like the final like time lapse thing,
Copy.
would have been fine if they had literally gone
better?
straight from the moment, like they walk off and then it immediately transitions to modern day, and not had this whole like each era thing just boom into the end and then go to credits. I think that would have been fine. It wouldn't have been so.
That's
It would
still-
still heavy-handed, but not so heavy-handed as like
It was too much.
oh, like so many eras they went through. It's like let's just cut to the chase.
We get it, Martin. Like time
Yeah.
passes. This is
Yeah,
it's,
it was
New
too
York
much.
is in the title of the movie. Like
Hey,
we
guys.
fucking get it.
I want you guys to think about this because I realized this earlier today.
Yes.
This movie came out 20 years ago.
Yeah. Big time.
That just kind of scared me because I was like,
Time's
I was
fucked,
talking to my
dude.
mom about this movie at lunch today, and I was like, she's like, when did this come out? Because I was telling her about all the people that were in it. She didn't remember hearing about this at all. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it came out in like 2002, and she's like, that's 20 years ago. And I kind of looked at her and I was like, oh
And
no.
you fucking punched her. Stop talking,
No.
Mom.
I would never do that. But it's like, oh my god, 02 is 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
long
it's
time
not
ago.
good.
Because you knew we're old, Trevor. I mean, I was in second grade when this came out, so I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I was in 6th grade, so
I guess I was in
It's
first.
still not that big of a deal.
Jeez.
shit. I was 11, bro. That's
True. Actually, 11. I mean, shit, you could have a family at 11.
What? What?
All right. Well, that's pretty much the episode. I mean, you guys got any final thoughts? I think we're good.
What?
I'm glad you guys watched it. Trevor, I'm going to leave you speechless, actually, at the end of this.
Hell yeah, that's a good ending right there.
I edit. I get to choose if I'm speechless.
Make sure you
you're
guys...
speechless,
Yeah, no, you're
dude.
good. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Harbor_boys. On YouTube at youtube.com/c/the Harbor Boys to catch the video. On Spotify, Patreon soon, and Apple
We're not on
Podcasts.
Patreon still.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time for Will's pick.
Bye, y'all.
Who knows? Peace out.
Goodbye.
Show me something.